Dear student, today we will be talking about pollination. Now, what is pollination? Transfer of pollen from anther to stigma within flower of same species is called pollination. So, stigma is a receptor over here. Now, you must know that pollens are released in two cell stage and the tendency of pollen to germinate varies with time. Okay, this is called pollen viability. In wheat, rice, the pollen viability is for 30 minutes. It means after 30 minutes the pollens are not viable, they degenerate and there is no further germination of pollen occurs. In leguminaceae the time is 1 month. So after certain time limit they will not germinate. However, today with the aid of technology, we can preserve the pollen of different species to be used later on for breeding experiment and research study. So how we can do this? We can do this by creating pollen banks. In pollen banks, we can preserve or store the pollens at deep freeze by using liquid nitrogen at minus 196 degrees Celsius. And we can store them. The pollen will remain viable under these conditions and they could be used later on. Now let's talk about the pollination. Basically it is of two types. When the transfer of pollen to stigma occur within same flower, then we say self-pollination. Also within different flower of the same plant, then also it is known as self-pollination. Usually in this case the flower is monoecious, that it carries both male and female part on the same plant. The flower is bisexual and the plant is said to be monoecious because it carries the bisexual flower on the same plant. Now if you look at the cross pollination means the pollen from one particular plant are transferred to the stigma of another plant, then we say it is cross pollination. And usually this is in case of dioecious plant where the plant is carry either the male flower or female flower. If it carries the male flower, then we say it's staminate. If it carries the female flower, then we say it is pistillate. Now let's see the overall view of pollination. So there are specific terms which are biological terms which are given. Self and cross pollination, two types. In self-pollination, when it is occurring within the same flower, we say autogamy. When it is with different flower of same plant, geitonogamy. And when it is between the different flower of different plant, then we say xenogamy or allogamy. Now we must understand over here is the compatibility of flower. So on the basis whether the flower is open or closed, it is divided into two parts. One is called chesmogamy and clastogamy. So they are the condition in the flower. So clastogamy is the condition for closed flower. Chesmogamy is the condition of open flower. Let's discuss the clastogamy first. Now closed flower means the stamen and stigma are not exposed and the flower also remain in the bud stage. Bud means closed stage. So the stamen and stigma mature at the same time. This is very sure over here. So the pollination is always self. So in clastogamous flower the pollination is always self because stigma and anther they mature at same time. So such flower are called clastogamous flower and this condition of flower is called clastogamy. Now come to chesmogamy. Now this is the condition where the flower is open. That means the stamen and stigma they are well exposed and the flower is brightly colored. Okay, such flower are chesmogamous flower. Now over here two conditions are there. The stamen and stigma they may mature at the same time. This is called homogamous. And they may mature at different time. This is called allogamous. So where they mature at the same time, the self-pollination occurs and where they mature at different time, the cross pollination occurs. Now let's try to understand the attributes of cross pollination, how it occurs. Okay, so the attributes that why the cross pollination occurs, they are called attributes: dichogamy, propotency, self-sterility, heterostyle, hercogamy. And if you look at the agent of cross pollination, the agents are classified in two categories: biotic and abiotic. Abiotic, we have water, which is the pollination is called hydrophily, wind; anemophily, bird; ornithophily, insect; entomophily, bat; chiropterophily. So here now we will discuss the terms in the detail. Now what is dichogamy? The maturation of anther and stigma at different time. This condition is called dichogamy. If the anther mature first then stigma, then we say protandry. But if the stigma mature earlier before the anther, then we say protogyny. Now maturation of stigma means they have a tendency to become receptive to pollen. Okay. Now heterostyle, the condition of having style of different length relative to the stamen and the flower of different individual plant to reduce self-pollination. So heterostyle is another condition where cross-pollination occurs due to the variation in the size of style. So there is some problem that the pollens from the stamens are unable to reach to stigma. Now next is hercogamy, presence of physical barrier between anther and stigma. Although both mature at the same time, the physical barrier are different for different plant. Okay, so there is some physical barrier which is present between the anther and stigma. For example, a flap covers the stigma and pansy. In Calotropis, pollen grains are enclosed in pollina and are transferred by insect only. Okay, now next is suppression of one sex. Either the stamen or carpel is suppressed within bisexual flower. So they do not produce pollen or they do not produce carpel. Okay, so sorry, they do not produce pollen or they do not produce ovule. So one of the sex character is suppressed. So again the self-pollination cannot occur, the cross-pollination has to take place. Next is self-sterility. Pollen grain of a flower are incapable of affecting fertilization even if they are placed on the stigma of the same flower due to mutual inhibition. So there are certain chemicals which do the mutual inhibition. Okay, so maybe the germination of pollen tube do not occurs. Maybe there are inhibitors to pollen tube or certain other kind of chemical reaction which inhibits. So under all these conditions, what will happen? Cross pollination will occur and self pollination is prevented. Now if you see, look at the pollinating agent over here. I have just listed, we'll just quickly go through what all things are important. Now here the character are described. If some plant where the pollination occur by water, what are the characteristic in the plant which is pollinated by wind? What are the characteristics? Similarly, bird, insect and bat. Okay, so the size of the flower, you can say, we'll go one by one over here. Size of the flower is very small in case of the you can say plant which are pollinated by water. So where water is the agent. Color of the flower very colorless. Such plants are colorless because they are present in the water. They have to produce large number of, you can say, pollen, because in order to prevent the possibility of you can say no pollination. Then nectar is absent. Stigma, they are always sticky because pollen has to come and stick to the stigma. Then if you look at the pollen are covered by wax because they should not be wetted by water. Fragrance is not required, so absent. And corolla, you can say waxy coating is there. Similarly, if you look at the plant which are pollinated by wind, then size is small, the flower size is small. The color of flower is colorless, and number of pollen produced, they are always large. Nectar not required, so absent. Stigma is sticky. Character of pollen, you can say they are light, dry, non-sticky. Wind, fragrance is absent. And corolla characteristic, corolla are very, very small. So here the flower, the size of the flower is, you can say, small, and they are not very colorful. But if you look at the characteristic over here, in case of the flower where the pollination occur by bird or insect, you'll find the corolla or the petals are brightly colored to attract the bird and flower, and there is nectar secretion. Lot of nectar is secreted so that they invite the insect and bird, so that the pollen gets stick to them and they can carry the pollens. And similarly, if you see in case of bat, okay, they there is no fragrance, whereas in case of bird and other birds and insect, you will see the flower are very, very smelly. But in case of bird, in case of bat, the flower is with the rotting smell, and it is very tough and leathery, so that it doesn't fall down when the bat sits on that. So these are certain characteristic of the pollinating, you can say, characteristic by pollination by different agents. Now we'll see certain specific adaptation for pollination. This is very interesting to note. One is the yucca plant and yucca moth, which is known as Pronuba eucacilla. And this is also not only example of pollination by insect, but this is also example of co-evolution. This is also example of adaptation. This is also example of obligate symbiotic relationship. Now what happens in this? The yucca moth lay egg in the ovary of yucca flower by making hole in the ovary. Then yucca moth now visit other yucca plant to collect the pollens from them, and then these pollens are pushed through stigma into the ovary, where the fertilization occur and the seed develop. By that time the larva come out from the egg and they feed on the developing seed, and some seed remain unconsumed, and these unconsumed seed are meant for the propagation. So over here in this example, you can see moth cannot survive without yucca flower, and yucca fails to reproduce sexually without moth. Okay, so there is symbiotic association with both of them. Now another example is of salvia flower. Again, this is pollinated by insect, and a specific mechanism is operated. This mechanism is known as lever mechanism. Now you need to understand first the shape of the flower. The shape of the flower is lip-like. The stamen is modified to lever, okay, and it has short filament. Okay, now you can look at here. It has short filament, long connective monothecous anthers, and this connective, it forms two unequal arms. The stigma is bilobed, corolla is tubular, upper portion is divided into two lobes. The flower is protandrous, that is anther mature first, then stigma. So if you look at the structure of flower, you can see this is tubular part and this is upper portion divided into two part, upper lips and lower lips. Upper lips is formed of two united petals and they protect the anther and stigma. You can just see bilobed stigma is situated upper side. Then this is connective. Okay, this. And lower arm is short, upper arm of connective is long, and it contains the anther which is called fertile anther, that is it contain pollen grains. Whereas the lower anther is sterile. Then you can also see the insect when it visit. Okay, so it has to suck the nectar from the corolla, so it extends its proboscis and try to suck the nectar. While doing this process, its back is stuck with the, you can say, fertile anther. Okay, and what will happen? The pollen dust get accumulated on the insect, and now this insect when visit another cell via flower, it transfer these dusted pollen to stigma. So this is the specific mechanism. There are many other mechanisms which are operated in different plants, but here I complete the pollination.